Hello dear students, now I am going to discuss Cambridge O-Level Chemistry October-November 2023 paper 1-1 MCQ paper. October-November 2023 paper 1-1 MCQ. Let's move. Number 1. In which changes do the particles move further apart? This 1 and 4 is the correct answer. Move further apart. A gas heated from 0 degree centigrade to 25 degree centigrade. Yes, if you give heat, gas particles go far away. So question is asking you, in which changes do the particles move further apart? So increasing temperature, particles move further apart. And also 4 is right answer. Water evaporates at room temperature. Yes, water is a liquid. When water evaporates, it forms gas. Gas particles goes further apart, far away. B is the right answer. 2 is wrong. Why? Pressure is applied to a gas at constant temperature. If you applied pressure, particles become closer, not move further apart. Steam condenses to form water. When steam condenses to form water, particles become closer. So B is the right answer. Number 2. Data about two compounds is given. Both compounds have a simple molecular structure. Hydrogen sulfide, phosphorus trichloride. Melting point very low, negative. Boiling point minus 61 degree centigrade. And PCl3 boiling point 76. Now two bottles are placed close together inside a large container at a temperature of 90 degree centigrade. One bottle contains 1 gram hydrogen sulfide and the other bottle contains 1 gram of phosphorus trichloride. So a detector is placed in the container 2 meter away from the two bottles. The two bottles are opened at the same time. Which row is correct? You see, B is the right answer. Compound that reaches detector first. That reaches to detector first. Hydrogen sulfide, and because hydrogen sulfide has lower relative molecular mass. So if relative molecular mass is lower, diffusion will be faster. So hydrogen sulfide has less relative molecular mass. That's why compound that reaches detector first. So hydrogen sulfide move faster because hydrogen sulfide has lower relative molecular mass. So B is the right answer. Number 3. Substances can be elements, compound or mixture. Which row is correct? This oxygen, D is the right answer. Element. Glucose is a compound because glucose C6H12O6. Carbon, hydrogen and oxygen elements are chemically combined. So this is compound, and air is a mixture. Air contains nitrogen, oxygen, carbon dioxide, so it is a mixture. D is the correct answer. Why A is wrong? Copper is element, this true, but brass is a mixture, this wrong. Zinc is a mixture, wrong. So D is the right answer. Four. The letters X, Y and Z represent different atoms. Which statement is correct? A is the correct answer. X and Y are the same element because their proton number is same. Proton number same, but Z has 20 proton numbers, so Z is different. That's why answer is A. X and Y are the same element. Now number 5. A student makes 3 statements. Number 1, calcium ion has plus 2 charge and oxide ion has minus 2. Calcium is a group 2, so calcium form 2 positive ion. Oxygen is a group 6, so oxide ion 2 negative 1 is true. Number 2, magnesium ion and oxide ion have the same electronic configuration as neon. Neon has 10 electron, so magnesium ion has also 10 electron because magnesium has 12 electron when magnesium form 2 plus 2 electron less, 10 electron. Also oxygen ion has 8 electrons when it form oxide ion, 2 electron is more, so 10 electron. Oxide ion 10 electron, magnesium ion 10 electron, neon has 10 electron. So B also right, correct. Number 3, calcium ion have 3 full electron shell and magnesium ion have 2 full electron shell. Yes, this is true. Calcium ion Ca2 plus 18 electron 2 8 8 3 electron shell. Magnesium ion has 10 electron, so 2 8 electronic configuration, 2 full shell. Calcium ion has 3 full electron shell, magnesium ion has 2 full electron shell. So which statements are correct? 1 2 3, these are all 3 are correct answers. Then number 4, 4 statements about graphite, diamond and silicon 4 oxide are listed. So which statements are correct? You see number 1 is correct because diamond and silicon 4 oxide are both very hard and similar structure because diamond is a tetrahedral giant covalent and silicon also tetrahedral giant covalents and they are very hard. So 1 is right answer. Number 2, in diamond every carbon atom is joined to 4 other carbon atom. This is true. Carbon is tetrahedral. See, 1 carbon is attached to 4 others carbon. Now 2 also right answer. 3, silicon 4 oxide forms giant structure of silicon and oxygen atom. Silicon dioxide formula SiO2. So this also true. This 1 2 3 are the right answer. So number 4 is wrong. Diamond and graphite both conduct electricity because they are both forms of carbon. No, diamond does not conduct electricity because diamond has no free electrons. So number 4 statement is wrong. 1, 2, 3 are correct. Now number 7, which row is correct? Compound. Methanol is a compound and molecular formula methanol CH3OH. CH3OH. Molecular formula will be 1 carbon, 4 hydrogen, CH4O, and this is compound because methanol 1 carbon, 4 hydrogen and 1 oxygen chemically combined. And this is wrong. Ammonia is a compound but molecular formula wrong. Ethene compound, molecular formula wrong. This will be C2H4. So C is the right answer. Now number 8. Compound Y is the only substance formed when 500 centimeter cube of ammonia reacts with 250 centimeter cube of carbon dioxide. All measurements are at RTP, room temperature and pressure. What is the formula of Y? So if you B is the right answer. Why? You see, question is asking ammonia reacts with carbon dioxide. If ammonia reacts with carbon dioxide to produce B compound, so here 2 nitrogen, 2 mole nitrogen, and so nitrogen 2, hydrogen 6, hydrogen 2 plus 4, 6, balance equation. Now you see ammonia 500 centimeter cube, 2 mole 500 centimeter cube. So this 1 mole will be 250 centimeter cube. So B is the right answer. If you one wrong answer you count, you see A is wrong. Why? 2 mole ammonia reacts with carbon dioxide to produce ammonium carbonate. So if you balance it, 2 nitrogen, okay, hydrogen 3 times 2, 6 hydrogen, but right side has 4 to the 8. So this is not balance equation. B is the right answer. Next, number 9. How many sodium ions are there in 30 gram of sodium sulfate? How many sodium ions? Total number of sodium ions is asking. If you calculate, you will get answer the B. How? Sodium sulfate. Relative molar mass of sodium sulfate, sodium 23 times 2, sulfur 32, oxygen 16 times 4, 142. Now at first you will find out moles of sodium sulfate, mass divided by molecular mass, relative molar mass of sodium sulfate, 0.211. Then total number of sodium ions equal number of mole times Avogadro constant into number of ions of that substance. Sodium sulfate contains 2 sodium ion, that's why multiply by 2. So if you calculate, you will get 2.54 times 10 to the power 23. So this correct answer B. Then number 10. Three compounds are listed: copper 2 nitrate, zinc sulfate, sodium thiosulfate. Which row shows the element that is present in the greatest percentage by mass in each compound? Greatest percentage by mass. You see, copper 2 nitrate, oxygen is the greatest element. Why? You see, copper to nitrate, copper 65 gram, nitrogen 28, 2 nitrogen atom, oxygen 6 nitrogen atom, so 16 times 6 96. Oxygen mass is more, so greatest percentage of oxygen is more. Now it's zinc sulfate. If you count zinc sulfate, zinc 65 gram, sulfur 32 gram, oxygen 64. So zinc, percentage of zinc will be greatest. And next, sodium thiosulfate, Na2H2O3. Sodium 46 gram, 23 times 2, sulfur 32 times 2, total sulfur 64 gram, oxygen 348. So sulfur mass is more, that's why sulfur has greatest percentage. The complete combustion of 20 centimeter cube of gaseous alkane X requires 130 centimeter cube of oxygen. Both volumes are measured at RTP, room temperature and pressure, which could be the identity of X. Now you see answer is A. Butane C4H 10 reacts with oxygen to produce carbon dioxide plus water. So when you write 4 carbon, 4 mole water, 10 hydrogen, 5 mole water. Now you count right side how many oxygen present. You see 2 times 4, 8 oxygen, 1 times 5, total 8 plus 5, 13 oxygen. So if you write here 6.5 times 2, 13, oxygen balance on both sides. Now you see, if butane is 20 centimeter cube is given, so oxygen will be 6.5 times more. So oxygen will be 20 times 6.5, I mean 130 centimeter cube. So you get the answer 130 centimeter cube answer. Answer is the A is the right answer. If you do for this ethane, methane and propane, you will not get this answer. So only A is the correct answer. Next, number 12, aqueous copper 2 sulfate is electrolyzed with copper electrodes, non-inert electrode, not carbon electrode. So what is the equation for the reaction that occur at the anode? And you know, electrolysis of aqueous copper 2 sulfate using copper electrode at the anode, oxidation reaction occur. Copper lose 2 electron to produce copper 2 ion. At anode, you know, oxidation reaction occur. So A is the right answer. Copper right side plus means left side minus 2e, that means copper lose 2 electron to form copper 2 ion. Next, 13, three statements about fuel cell are given. Number 1, a hydrogen oxygen fuel cell requires a continuous input of fuel and oxygen. Fuel means hydrogen and oxygen continuously we have to supply. So this is true. And number 2, one is true. In a hydrogen oxygen fuel cell, hydrogen is burned in oxygen to produce electricity. No, this is wrong. Not to produce electricity. This is wrong. Now 3, when a hydrogen oxygen fuel cell is operating, what is the only chemical product? Yes, 3 is the right answer. Hydrogen reacts with oxygen to produce water. So C is the right answer. Whose statements are correct? C is the correct answer. Now 14. Under certain condition, nitrogen reacts with oxygen to form nitrous oxide. This is the reaction. The reaction pathway diagram is given. So, what is the activation energy of the reverse reaction? Reverse reaction means this reactant goes to product. This activation energy is for forward reaction, but reverse reaction will be product go to reactant, products go to reactants. So for reverse reaction, activation energy will be this value. So now how you calculate total energy? This 447, and from this energy is given plus 164. So if you subtract plus 447 total energy minus this energy, you will get activation energy for reverse reaction. That means from this to this energy you will get. So this is the right answer. Next, (15) hydrogen and bromine react to form hydrogen bromide. Bond energy data given in the table. Bond and their bond energy is given in kilojoule per mole. So what is the enthalpy change? Delta is for this reaction. You know, this hydrogen single bond, bromine single bond, and hydrogen bromine 2 bond. So enthalpy change delta H will be bond broken energy. In reactants, bonds are broken. Bonds broken energy minus bonds form energy, means product energy. So here you see hydrogen single bond value is given 436 plus bromine 193 minus product energy, bond forming energy. Here 2 hydrogen bromine bond present. So 2 times 366. If you calculate, you will get minus 103 kilojoule per mole. So B is the right answer. This is the calculation. You get negative 103 kilojoule per mole. Then 16, octane C8H18 is a hydrocarbon. When octane is mixed with excess oxygen, no change takes place unless energy is supplied. If energy is supplied in the form of heat or an electric spark, a change takes place quickly. That means reaction occur by taking heat. The products of these changes include carbon dioxide. That means octane burn in oxygen to produce carbon dioxide and water. So you are asking which part of this description shows that the change is a chemical change. Chemical change when a new product is formed. That means carbon dioxide is produced. When octane reacts with oxygen, carbon dioxide, a new product is formed. That's why this is chemical reaction, chemical change. So oxygen is a hydrocarbon. This is wrong. The reaction takes place quickly. This is wrong. D is the correct answer. Then number 17, next. You see a student plans to investigate how the rate of reaction changes when the hydrochloric acid and calcium carbonate react. So calcium carbonate reacts with hydrochloric acid, calcium chloride, carbon dioxide and water is produced. So by two method you can measure the rate of reaction. At a certain time the mass of container will be decreased because carbon dioxide gas will escape, will go out. This is one method. Other method, if you count bubbles of carbon dioxide gas after a certain time, you can measure the rate of reaction. Other method also you can apply by measuring the volume of gas at regular times. After a certain times you can measure the rate of reaction. But now you are asking which method could be used to measure how the rate of reaction changes. This is the C is the right answer. 2 is wrong. Why? I am explaining. At first you see 1 is correct. Why? Because record the mass of the flux and contents every 30 seconds for 5 minutes. That means after a certain time 30 second, after a certain time means after a 30 second, if you 5 times 5 up to 5 minutes, that means 10 times you can measure the mass of the content. So gradually mass will be decreases. So you can measure the rate of reaction. And also 3 is the right. Why? Count and record the total number of bubbles of gas in the water every 30 seconds for 5 minutes. This for 5 minutes you measure the bubbles, you count the number of bubbles. But 2 is wrong. Why? Because measure and record the volume of gas in the syringe after 30 seconds. That means after 30 seconds only one reading. So this will be increase or decrease, or reaction is stopped or not, you cannot know by taking only one reading. So this is not suitable. By taking only one value, one volume, you cannot study the rate of reaction. Next, aqueous bromine is an equilibrium mixture. Bromine and water is an equilibrium to form bromate 1 ion, bromide ion and hydrogen ion. Aqueous bromine is orange in color. The species on the right hand side of the equation are colorless. Right hand side have no color. Right bromine is orange. So changes are made to 3 separate portions of the equilibrium mixture, which row shows how the color of the mixture changes when a small amount of each substance is added. So you see, this is from equilibrium. Adding sulfuric acid. If you add sulfuric acid, hydrogen ion will be increases. So equilibrium will go from right to left. More orange color will be produced. So answer is the darker orange, means more orange. Then number 2, adding sodium bromide. Sodium bromide means if you add more bromide ion, product increases, concentration of product increases. So also equilibrium will go from right to left. That's why darker orange color. Then adding water. Water, if you add left hand side, water increases. So equilibrium will move from left to right. That means paler orange. Orange color will be reduced. So orange color will be paler. That's why B is the right answer. Next, 19. In which substance does the nitrogen atom have the same oxidation number as the nitrogen atom in nitrous acid? So answer is A, NF3. And why you see the following for the elements: compound hydrogen plus 1, fluoride minus 1, oxygen minus 2. So if you count it, nitrous acid, lead, oxidation number of nitrogen is X. So hydrogen is plus 1 plus X, oxygen minus 2 times 2 equals 0 because there is no power here. If you calculate, you will get oxidation number of nitrogen is plus 3. That means HNO3, if you calculate, you will get oxidation number of nitrogen is plus 3. So NF3 means here nitrogen is plus 3. If you count is nitrogen X, you don't know, plus minus 1, fluorine minus 1 times 3 equals 0. So if you calculate, you will get X equal plus 3, means nitrogen oxidation number plus 3. So here nitrogen oxidation number plus 3, here plus 3. That's why this is the answer. So if you count in ammonium ion, you will get minus 3. Here nitrogen minus 3. Here NO, nitrogen is plus 2. Here NO, nitrogen will be plus 5. So next 20, lime water is aqueous calcium hydroxide. You know, calcium hydroxide is the lime water. Whose statement about lime water is correct? It has pH below 7. No, it is alkaline, more than 7 it will be. This is wrong. D is the right answer. It turns yellow when methyl orange is added. Calcium hydroxide is alkali, so in alkali methyl orange shows yellow color. This is the right answer, D. Then number 21, which two oxides will both react with aqueous sodium hydroxide? Sodium hydroxide is an alkali, so D is the right answer. Sulfur dioxide is a acidic oxide. Acidic oxide reacts with alkali, sodium hydroxide. This is the true. And zinc oxide, metal oxide or amphoteric oxide, that's why it will react with sodium hydroxide. But calcium oxide, metal oxide, this is basic oxide, it will not react with base or alkali. And calcium oxide, metal oxide, basic oxide, copper 2 oxide also basic oxide. So this is the right answer. Now 22, a solution of sodium carbonate is added to tap water. Sodium carbonate means Na2CO3. Here carbonate ion present, CO3 negative 2. So which ion present in the tap water will causes the precipitate to form? If you add magnesium present in tap water, magnesium reacts with magnesium ion. Magnesium ion reacts with carbonate ion. Magnesium ion reacts with carbonate ion to produce magnesium carbonate. Magnesium carbonate is white precipitate, so answer will be magnesium. Chloride no precipitate, potassium no precipitate, sulfate no precipitate. So B is the right answer. #23. The characteristics properties of element change from left to right across period 2 of the periodic table. On the left of the period, the charge on the ion formed by an element is the same as the group number, and 2 negative. Which statement is correct? So B is the right answer, only 1, not negative, because the same as the group number. Yes, as sodium is a group 1, so it's plus 1. Magnesium, left to right, group 2 plus 2. Aluminium, 3 plus, group 3. So on the left of the period, all positive ion form as their group number, but negative is the wrong, not negative ion, they form positive ion. Now 24, which statement about the group 7 halogen is correct? Bromine consists of Br2 molecules. Group 7, they are diatomic, so they two atoms join together, so bromine consists as Br2 at room temperature and pressure. A is the right answer, and B is the wrong. Why? Iodine will displace bromine. No, iodine is less reactive. Iodine will not displace bromine. C wrong. The halogens become darker in color as the relative molecular mass decreases. No, this is wrong. Molecular mass increases, they become darker. So A is the right answer. Now 25. A power cable requires an element that conduct electricity, number 1. Number 2, has a relatively low density and is ductile. Which of these properties does aluminum have? All 3 is correct, because conduct electricity, as aluminum is a metal, and you know aluminum has low density, and also aluminum is a metal, so it is a ductile. Next 26, which diagram represent the structure of an alloy? B is in alloy, because their atoms are or ions are different size, this small size and this large size. So alloy is harder because the atoms are in different size, so they cannot slide over each other. And this is a pure metal, and this is diamond, this is graphite. So B is the right answer. Next 27. Most metals react with oxygen in the air to form metal oxide. Which metal forms a metal oxide layer that reduces its apparent reactivity? And you know, aluminum is less reactive because aluminum reacts with oxygen. A strong coating of aluminum oxide is formed, which makes aluminum less reactive. So A is the right answer. Next, which statement about corrosion of metal is correct? D. When corrosion occurs, the metal lose electrons to form positive ion. During corrosion, metal lose electron to form positive ion. So D is the right answer. A is wrong. Why? A barrier method is needed to prevent the corrosion of stainless steel. Wrong. Iron corrodes to produce hydrated iron 1 oxide. No, hydrated iron 3 oxide. This is wrong. Next, this 29. Some metals and compounds in their ores are shown. Metal, their ore: aluminum, aluminum oxide; calcium, calcium oxide; lead, lead oxide; sodium, sodium chloride; iron, iron 3 oxide; magnesium, magnesium carbonate. So, which type of reaction occur in the extraction of each of these metals from its ore? So, which process occurs? Reduction reaction occur, because aluminum is more reactive. As more reactives, so you can apply electrolysis process, but at the cathode, aluminum ion takes electron to produce aluminum. So during electrolysis also metal is produced at the cathode by the reduction process. So, and iron oxide is less reactive, so less reactive metal is extracted by reduction process. That's why D is the right answer. Next, which statement about natural sources of water and the domestic water supply is correct? C. Photosynthesis provides the oxygen needed for aquatic life in natural sources of water. You know, photosynthesis produces oxygen. That oxygen dissolve in water, that is needed for aquatic life. And A is wrong. Why? Chlorine is used to remove taste. No, chlorine is used to remove bacteria. Metal compounds from detergents can deoxygenate natural source of water. This is wrong. So C is the right answer. Next, this 31. Gases that may be present in the air are listed: neon, carbon monoxide, nitrogen, methane. Which gases are atmospheric pollutant? So carbon monoxide is the atmospheric pollutant, and methane also, hydrocarbon. Nitrogen already present in air. Neon, noble gas, also present. So carbon monoxide and methane, hydrocarbon, these are air pollutants, atmospheric pollutants. So C is the right answer. Next, 32. Which compounds are in the same homologous series? B is the right answer, because this is alkene. I write here alkene. Second one also alkene. First one is propene. Second one is butanene. And third one is also butanene. All are alkene. So B is the homologous series. And why A is not? A is, first one is alkane, second one is alkene. So they are not homologous series. One is alkane, other is alkene, different one. C, alcohol and carboxylic acid, not same functional group. And this is D, alkane, and last one is alkene. So this is not homologous series. So same homologous series only for all will be alkane. Now 33. The diagram shows 4 substances C4H8 means butene, whose structures represent the same molecule. So 2 1 2 3, 2 methyl propene, 4 1 2 3, 2 methyl propene. So 2 and 4 are the same molecule, but one is but 1 in, this is but 1 in, this is but 2 in. These are different molecule, and 2 and 4 methyl propene. So these two are same molecule. Next, (34). The displayed formula of two organic compounds are shown. One is methanol, other is, this is alcohol part, ethyl methanoate, 1 carbonate alkanoate. So what are the names of this compound? This one is methanol and 2 is ethyl methanoate, because this is a star. So this alcohol part, 2 carbon alcohol part C2H5 means ethyl, and 1 carbon alkanoate is methanoate. So ethyl methanoate. That's why C is the right answer. Now (34). Two products of the separation of petroleum are the lubricating oil fraction and the kerosene or paraffin fraction. Which statement is correct? The lubricating oil fraction is more viscous than the kerosene or paraffin fraction, because lubricating has more boiling point, so it is more viscous. A is the right answer. Lubricating oil and bitumen, these are more viscous. Next, (36). An incomplete equation for the reaction of propane chlorine is shown. Propane reacts with chlorine in presence of UV light. Chloropropane plus hydrogen chloride, acidic gas will be produced. So a student writes 3 statements about this reaction. Number 1, the activation energy for the reaction is provided by the ultraviolet light. It is true, because for this reaction UV light and ultraviolet light is needed, that provide energy for the reaction. And 2, C3H7Cl has 2 different structural formula. Yes, this is chloropropane. So one will be 1 chloropropane, propane, 1 carbon containing chlorine, this will be 1 chloropropane, these are hydrogen. Other will be 2 chloropropane, 3 carbon, second carbon contains chlorine, this will be 2 chloropropane, others will be hydrogen all. So C3H7Cl has 2 different structural formula. One is chloropropane, 1 chloropropane, other is 2 chloropropane. So number 3, X is an acidic gas. Yes, hydrogen chloride is an acidic gas. So which statements are correct? 1, 2, 3, all 3 statements are correct. So answer will be the A. Next, (37). Glycerol is an alcohol with 3 hydroxyl group for the molecule. This is the glycerol. This contains 3 alcohol group. What is the equation for the combustion of glycerol? And this, if you write this formula, 3 carbon C3, hydrogen 8, oxygen 3. If you burn in oxygen to produce carbon dioxide and water. So here 3 carbon, 3 mole carbon dioxide, 8 hydrogen means 4 mole water. Now you count it. 3 to the 6 oxygen plus 4 oxygen plus 4. Total right hand side has 10 oxygen. 10 oxygen. Now left hand side here 3 oxygen. So need 7 by 2 O2 means 7 oxygen. 2 cancel, 7 plus 3 10 oxygen. If you multiply by 2, 2 mole glycerol, 2 mole glycerol, 7 mole oxygen, 6 mole carbon dioxide, 8 mole water. So C is the right answer. Next, compound X decolorizes acidified aqueous potassium manganate 7. Compound X has the empirical formula C2H5O. Some possible structures of X are shown. Which structure could be correct for compound X? As it turns acidified potassium permanganate colorless, so 2 could be correct. This empirical formula C2H5O. So molecular formula 2 times 4 carbon. A is wrong, has only 2 carbon. So this has 4 carbon, 2 and 3 is the right. 4 also 4 carbon, but 4 is incorrect because carboxylic acid does not decolorizes with potassium permanganate. So 2 and 3 is the right answer because 2 is a alcohol, alcohol oxidized to aldehyde and carboxylic acid. So this also alcohol, 3 also alcohol, and empirical formula will be C2H5O. That's why 2 and 3 are the correct answer. So why not 1? 1 C2H5H6O. So molecular formula will be 2 times C4H10O2. So 1, 2, 3, 4, C4 is 3, 5, 7, 10 and 2O. 2 molecular formula this. Number 3 also molecular formula C4H10O2. So C is the right answer. Next, 39. Which statement is correct? A solution can never be described as pure. Solution is mixture of solute and solvent, so it is not pure. So this is the right answer. Why is wrong? A filtrate is left. No, filtrate is not. Residue is left on the filter. This is wrong. A saturated solution contains only substance with single bond. This is wrong. A solute is a substance that dissolves a solvent. No, a solid is a substance that dissolves in a solvent. So this is the right answer. Next, a student does 2 experiments. In experiment 1, ammonium carbonate is reacted with dilute hydrochloric acid. In experiment 2, ammonium carbonate is heated with sodium hydroxide. In each experiment, the gas bulb is tested with damp blue litmus paper and damp red litmus paper. So, which row correctly shows the color of the both pieces of litmus paper at the end of every experiment? Experiment 1. So, ammonium carbonate, if you add hydrochloric acid, so acid blue litmus, ammonium carbonate and hydrochloric acid, so red litmus, blue litmus turns to red, damp red litmus paper, so it will not remain same because here there is no alkali form here. Ammonium carbonate reacts with hydrochloric acid to produce ammonium chloride plus carbon dioxide plus water. Acidic gas is produced, so this red litmus paper will remain same. Now number 2, when ammonium carbonate, if you add aqueous sodium hydroxide, ammonia gas, alkaline gas will produce, which turns damp red litmus paper to blue. So this is the experiment 2, damp red litmus paper turns to blue, but experiment 1, red litmus paper will remain same. Thank you, dear students.